Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of my 180SX build. In the last episode, I tackled the stitch welding on the interior of my car, and this episode I'm going to be attacking the engine bay. I'll be removing a few bits and pieces: brake booster, brake master, brake lines, and the steering column, and then get into stitch welding all the seams to strengthen it up. There's a few repairs in the strut towers, had split, and someone has had a go at like bodging it up, so I'm just going to plate that for strength, and then stitch weld it up, and then remove the tubs, the factory tubs, to make room for my Part Shop Max angle kit. I'm going to be removing the tubs by drilling out the spot welds rather than just like chopping it. I think it gives a cleaner look, and it makes me feel a bit better about things, removing panels rather than just chopping them. So let's get into it. I'm just going to rip into it and start getting rid of all the seam sealer and all the spots that I need to get rid of. If you've ever used one of these wire wheels, these little things just come flying out and like stick into you. The little one on the drill's alright, but the one on the angle grinder just spins so fast they just like, so if you wear a face mask, but I don't have one. I'm just going to chuck it on a time lapse and go for gold for now. Probably about half an hour, 35 minutes of grinding. Compressed down into a 30-second time lapse. But I'm just going to hit it with some CRC for now. So just hit it with some CRC, or a bit of oil, WD-40, whatever you really got lying around, just to give it a barrier from flash rusting. Otherwise, it'll come back and go over it all again. Welcome. It's the next day, so going to tackle the tubs today. I'm trying to remove them as clean as possible by drilling the spot welds. So quick little update of what I've done. Well, pretty much I've just removed the seam sealer, and that really removed the seam sealer so I can see the spot welds. Just expose those. But pretty much, I'll give you a quick rundown of what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go through, use this little center punch and center punch all the holes for this little spot weld drill piece. So normally most people just center punch it and then use this, but I find it warps and it's just a headache, so I'm gonna drill a pilot hole for the little center bit of this little thing to go into, and just get it done. So we'll crack on. I'll show you how it's done. So you just want to go through and find all the centers. And I'll just quickly show you what happens. Well, what happens for me. I'm sure there's other guys that can get it to work better. When you try to just get this in that spot, it does that. And I'm not dealing with that for like 30 holes. So that into there. Just trying to go through the one layer, and that's exactly what we've done there. Yeah, you can't ask for much better than that, really. So this back one here, I'm going to need to come through from the other side, as there's 3 bits of metal here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I've just been prying it a little bit, and it's yeah, starting to come loose now. Not too many more to go. Try to see if I can set this up somewhere else where you can see. Yeah, that's one out. Makes me feel a little bit better removing it rather than chopping it for some reason. I don't know about you. And yeah, this is a good example of why I'm stitch welding it. Like, these cars are held together with just interval spot welded and intervals. Yeah, also my headlights bolt to this, and obviously they're pop-up headlights, and there's a motor involved and stuff, so yeah, there's a bit of flex here. So I'll probably make some sort of supporting bracket through there. Yeah, but get the other side done. So yeah, gotta move on to fixing up the splits and the structural walls. Yeah, I'm going to move on to fixing these little splits. So I'm just going to make a template out of blue painter's tape, which I have heaps of, always. Can never have too much blue painter's tape. I'm just going to draw my shape. Here's my hole. I need that. That's for the brake line. This is just a rough template. I put that bit of tape along that edge where I need that line. Then I'm going to want it chopped. Something like that. And then straight down there. Cool. Yeah, I've done the same for the other side. Yeah, I'm just going to come over here and yeah, try to chop this to the rough shape that I want. Just sort of easier said than done. My shape. There's the top, there's the bottom. I'm just going to come through and square that off. Yeah, that's my shape. I want to do that for the other side as well. So I've got it all mocked up, ready to chop. Check out the stance on the dog. Coco. Side eyes. What are you up to, Gil? She's always not too far from my side. Yeah, so just cut the tape. And there we have it, we'll just chuck them on. Boom. And just like that, it's done. Far from perfect, but just trying to strengthen it up. Yeah, looks good to me. So, not gonna lie, that was a mission. But I've done everywhere that I can get to. Haven't cleaned it up yet. So yeah, I'm going to go through and clean it up, wire wheel it all, grind back what I can, yeah, and just smooth it all out. To be fair, pretty happy with how it's come up. A lot of it I'm going to seam seal over, all the stuff underneath I'll re-seam seal. Yeah, so we've got it all sealed up now, it's primed. The next step is to go through, mask over all the stitch welding and seam sealer it again. You know, as with, yeah, I've had to remove all the old seam sealer, and the last thing I want is water or moisture getting trapped in there. So yeah, I'm going to mask it first, because otherwise it makes a fucking mess. And yeah, I'm going to use this 3M polyurethane seam sealer. I've used some other stuff that's like a seam sealer and a panel bond, and it just goes rubbery, but this stuff goes real hard. So yeah, use this stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to mask it out and get into it. Yep, so for example, if I'm masking this bit here and that bit, instead of chopping it out, I'll just run it on an angle that way, and then I'll get my next piece with the opposite angle, and then I can just run it right to there. Boom. I've got a nice sharp corner without having to use a knife or anything like that, and it's just fast. So yeah, I don't think I'll be seam sealing these top bits, as I think they look quite cool. And yeah, so I'm not going to worry about those. But yeah, so you want to mask both sides of your seams, and yeah, you just want to try to get the masking as uniformed as possible. The better your masking is, the better the outcome of the seam sealing is going to be. So I'm just going to go through and do the whole car. It's going to take a bit, so yeah.
2,000 years later.
So yeah, that took forever. It was a mean mission, but yeah, it looks good. So yeah, just went and masked everything out as cleanly as possible. Like I said, the better the masking, yeah, the better the seam sealer will come out. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess. I'll just get the caulking gun from the van, the good old trusty Van Diesel. Caulking gun and gloves. Definitely want gloves. So yeah, obviously this is just under the car and that, but you still want it to look nice, right? The best we can. So yeah, can't complain with that. Looks good. Yeah, I'm not sure what it looks like on camera, but it looks really good. I'm stoked. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, so for the last step of this video, just going to hit the wheel wells, seal them up with some Raptor Liner. I'll put it, yeah, the wheel wells and the bottom of the chassis. Yeah, Raptor Liner, textured black, can't beat it. Goes on hard, lasts for ages. So yeah, pretty happy with how everything's turned out. Yeah, you gotta keep in mind that it's a drift car, not a show car, and everything's sort of done for a purpose, not to look good, but obviously want to make it look good or as good as possible at the same time. Just need to trust the process and keep going one step at a time. Yeah, it's starting to come together. This was a complete going car like 3 weeks ago, SR20, like a minter. It was, yeah, immaculate mint car, full interior, everything there. SR20 DET, red top. Yeah, like I said in my other video, the SR is just not for me. And I was contemplating, I'd done a refresh on it and stuff like that, and was going to make it a street car. But yeah, decided against that, was backwards and forwards, humming and hawing of what way to go. But in the end, I listed the motor and the box, the ECU, everything on Marketplace, and it sold. And as soon as it sold, yeah, I was locked into making it a drift car. So on the next episode, I think I'll be doing some tube front supports to support the chassis and the strut towers from the factory tubs that I've removed. Apparently, from researching a couple of my mates even run just no tubs at all, and their cars are a lot more powerful than mine will be, and they're at a higher level of driving as well. So I was thinking about leaving it how it is, but I think I'm going to do some sort of tube supports. I'm not going to go crazy with it. So if you've liked anything on the video or interested to see how it's going to turn out, yeah, hit that follow button. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.